Hey, what is going on, everybody? Boilon here, and in today's video, we're going to talk about how you can master and max out the Rate of Fortunes, a milestone event that is going to be upcoming tomorrow at 1 p.m. Pacific time. We're going to be talking about the strategies that you should be employing in order to, make sure you're prepared for these types of events going forward if you haven't already, and sort of how much exactly that you might need to spend, both in power cores and, I guess, in earning raid credits in order to get to where you want to be. We're going to take a look at all the rewards and talk about whether or not it's worth it. So if you're ready to go, then let's boil this down. And so I want to start here. Of course, this is the blog post from, it was 2 days ago now. My apologies for not really being on top of things for videos wise. I've been a bit delayed due to stuff in real life. So I haven't been able to get out as many videos as quickly as I normally would lately. But I want to talk about this anyways. So we had this blog drop. It was called Prepare for the Rate of Fortune. It was really of no surprise, frankly, to me anyways, because we kind of get this. I don't know the date, but I believe like once every month or every 6 weeks we get something like this. But this version is a little bit different. And we're going to go over that. So here it is, and I'm going to bring up the table in a more zoomed, blown up version. Now, what's interesting, of course, is actually, if you look down here, so you get scores for raid credits. We know that. But what's new, and I'm pretty sure this wasn't on the other one the last time we had this, was spend power core. So you get 15 points for spending a power core. So we'll talk about that more when we get into the math. It is also a 4-day duration. I don't remember what the other ones were, if they were more than 4 or not. I don't think they were, but I believe we had one in December, like early December. That's what I want to say, but I don't think it had a power core function to it. Now, what's actually in here for the rewards? A lot of these are pretty basic, especially towards the early end. Some things to note, there are some additional shards, of course, on this right-hand column. A lot of them you may not necessarily need, but some of them may be viable in terms of being able to get for some other players. So there is some Cap Sam in here. There is some Maria Hill, Deathpool. There is some rarer characters, Deathlock, Hulkbuster. Interestingly, Deathlock is actually rarer than Hulkbuster because Deathlock is not farmable. So that helps. And there's some other, orb fragments and stuff. But really, it starts to really kick up here. At 90,500, you get 25 Nemesis shards. Now, for those who didn't really go for Nemesis in the present store or didn't go super hard on his event during his campaign event in December, then there might give you a chance to, get an extra boost for a star rank that 25 might help. And then you get a full Elite 4 orb here. And then at a 113,500, you get 25 US agent shards. Now, I think this is actually fairly substantial because of the way that his event is currently running with the orbs. I think that to get an additional 25 shards, if you're able to do that, is quite a lot. Now, afterwards, what do you get? Milestone 19. This is actually a very important milestone here because you get 350,000 blue 4 ions. I can't stress how important this is, and that's kind of part of the reason why I'm making this video here today, because that represents about almost half of a character for blue 4. And that's another half of a character towards getting Apocalypse. And in terms of its value, we talked about this, I believe, when I was purchasing the Blue 4 Ions during the Presence store, that something like this would represent almost 2 weeks worth of Blue 4 Ions, if you're just counting War and Crucible. So that is, a fair bit of time shaved off. 2 weeks of time shaved off towards Apocalypse is nothing to scoff at. In the Presence version, was worth about 3 to 4 weeks, depending if you included the Coordinated Assault, the Blue 4 Ions that you would get from that normally. The gold promotion credits is pretty garbage here on this part of the milestone. And then at the very end at 170,000, you get an Elite 5 orb, but you do get 500 dark promotion credits. This is pretty big. The dark promotion credit part is pretty big because now not only are we getting, and who knows if we're getting another character, a standard character like Zombie Iron Man that's going to have dark promotion credits, but I wouldn't rule it out. And so therefore, having as many dark promotion credits as you possibly can would be very helpful, not only to upgrading your horseman characters, but to also possibly other really strong characters that might be coming out this year. So 500 dark promotion credits is equivalent to 50 red star orbs at the base 10x drop. Now, you're likely to get some 30s in there, but just saying that at the bare maximum, not minimum, maximum would be 50, I think, is what I meant to say. It's a bit early here in recording this video for me. So it's really important to make sure that you clear this. So I want to get into the math as to how you're going to be able to do this. Now, this is basically Marvel Horde Force. We know this, right? You know, this is really, really important. I'm going to zoom in super far here. It's Marvel Horde Force, you know, right? That's what the name of the game is. And just to show you, I haven't actually hoarded that much in my own inbox. And it's a bit unfortunate. I don't know what the hell this is, actually, now that I think about it. I have no idea what this is. This just showed up on my screen today. Now. What is that? I don't know. Maybe I should have clicked on it. Anyways, you know, I don't have very many Doom 3. I have one. Oh my god. So I have one ending like pretty soon after this video. I might have 3 of these saved before going into the event. No, actually, I only have 2. So I won't have as many as I should have. You know, and really what that tells me is you should always make sure that you're holding on to this all the time, because you never know when it's going to come back. And it's really sad. You should make sure that you hold on to at least 6 of these. You know, if you want to claim it with 1 day left, that's fine. But I would try and make sure that there's 6 of these in your inbox at all times, because you never know when something like this is going to come back around, or that there might be a weekly event that might require it as well. So I hate that they've done this, because they changed it from, what was it, 28 days in your inbox to 7 days. And they've just really, like, they've tried to punish the players for hoarding their resources, yet they've still come out with ways that makes you do that by coming out with events that earn raid credits, earn blitz credits, whatever, what have you, right? We have a blitz credit thing going right now. And it's complete garbage. But in order to stay ahead of that, you're going to need to play the game. And what I mean by play the game, I mean actually play their game, which is the hoarding part of it. And the other part would be the raid season milestones. I accidentally clicked on a few of them in my sleep. It was basically like just waking up and I clicked on milestone 1. But make sure that you're not clicking on these until after the event. And in general, I would probably at the very least save the raid credit versions of this so that you can use it towards future events if it's required. Yes, they're even making you save all of this as well, which is absolute horseshit. But hey, you know, that's Marvel Strike Force for you. And so let's get back to the math anyways. So you need 170,000 milestone points. Now that's if you're wanting to go all the way to the end there for the Dark Promotion credits. You don't need to go as far if you're looking for the third to last milestone for US Agent Shards, or the Blue 4 Ions, which is second to last. So we'll talk about that a little bit down below. You get 15 points for spending power cores, and the rest of the points is just raid credit hoarding. So let's talk about the save stuff, the stuff that you can hoard. So the raid season credits are worth about 15,000 points. That's not super substantial, but it is worth about, I would say, 3 days of Doom Raid 3.2 payouts. So in that respect, it is worth a fair bit. Now, if you were able to save up, you know, as many as you could of the for me, it's Doom Raid 3. You know, for you, it could be something else, and it might be a little bit less on the raid season points, or on the raid credit points. But nonetheless, you know, that's 34,300 if you save for 7 days, you know. So I only have 2, maybe 3, you know, going into this event, but it is what it is. So, you know, at least I'll have a little bit of bonus, and I have the raid seasons going into it. If you do Doom Raid 3.2 and Greek 4 every single day, though, the node credits are worth a fair bit. Not a ton, but, you know, enough to give you some progress there. So that's 2,550 per day. Now, keep in mind that there's only 4 days. So what I'm including in this video is not necessarily all the stuff that you're going to be doing in those 4 days. A lot of it is actually just the stuff that you can save up and that you'll be able to accomplish. If it's not in blue, the sort of the sky blue, that's the stuff that you can save. These are the kind of the subtotals as well. So you're going to be able to get almost 18,000 per day if you, actually, the fact that it says 7 days means that the last version was like 7 days, or there was an event that required it. So I should really change that. Let me do that really quick. My apologies, everyone. So we'll change the numbers here to 4 days because that's what it is. And so the numbers are a little bit less. There we go. A fair bit less. So that's the difference between 4 days and 7 days. So this is the subtotal for the nodes. This is the subtotal for the Doom payouts over 4 days. And that, if you're able to save on top of that, will give you to a total of 79,200. And so these are the numbers that you're going to need to do, that if on top of this that you're wanting to get the Blue 4 Ions of the Dark Promotion credits. Now, I haven't included the US Agent milestone because I think that the goal here is to get to the Blue 4 Ions. So if you do all of this and then you want to get the blue 4 ions, you're looking at spending about another 4,150 power cores. So what would I recommend for that? And same with the dark promotion credits, about 6,000 or so, you know, if you want to get to the very end and complete everything, and you've done all of this above. You've saved your stuff, you've saved your raid season stuff, you've done your regular raiding as much as you can every single day, then this is what you're kind of looking at. Now, some might say, you know, hey, Boilon, this is not really free to play. I would argue that it still is, especially if you're keeping up with Arena and you don't do much with your power cores, frankly. Like, so if you do what I do, and you might ask, you know, Boilon, how do you have so many power cores? Because I have a lot. I have almost 10,000. I have over 10,000. And frankly, I actually have less than I normally would because I've been really lazy on my Arena lately. I think I'm at 40 on my Arena rank. I haven't done Arena in over 2 weeks. Just because I've been super, super lazy and I haven't actually kept up with it, but you could do a lot more. So if you're kept in the top 50, then you can probably, I don't even know why I was attacking with Archangel. I think I was messing about. And yeah, I just really haven't done a real battle in such a long time. So if you're getting 200 power cores per day, I don't actually spend a lot of power cores naturally. When it comes to the campaign energy and all that, I don't actually core a lot. So that gives me a lot of ways that I'm able to save up my power cores on a regular basis for things like this. So yes, I would say it's free to play. Is it practical? Not for everyone, but some people, and there may be a portion of you who are able to save your power cores on a monthly basis for events such as this coming back around. So what are my personal recommendations for using those power cores and what you should use on? It's the characters, you know, and I do this every now and then, usually once a month or so. Currently, we have the Lost in Time orb up for Captain Carter, but I believe that probably not long, maybe later today, not long after this video, there's going to be probably an offer for Agent Venom. So whether or not you want to use it on Captain Carter or Agent Venom is going to be completely up to you. I think both of those are the better characters, especially since we're getting 25 US Agent shards within this Raid of Fortunes milestone anyways. So that'll go towards your month-long event for January. The Enforcer orbs, which I haven't opened yet because I'll be doing a month-long orb opening towards the end of this for that, just to see what my luck is on that. So, I mean, really, it's up to you. I don't have any personal recommendations on who you should open for, Captain Carter or Agent Venom. It might depend on if you've bought any of them so far, or if you've opened any core orbs for them so far. And the other thing, too, to keep in mind is that we are going to have a blog post on Friday. So if you want, what you could do is you could save until Friday because the event will be running for 4 days. And we're going to get the blog post for the Woman Out of Time event for Captain Carter. So we'll know what that entails. If the Captain Carter event, you know, requires power core spending, which I personally don't think it will. I mean, it's not going to be to a large extent. Usually most of these events that require, you know, power core spending to some degree, or even on the side, you know, for spending for campaign energy and whatnot, usually it's not more than 200 cores a day. So it's not anything, you know, of a large amount. So I think you're pretty safe in the idea of spending your power cores on the 675 orbs, but to be safe anyways, you know, I think that if you want to wait for the blog post on Friday to check that out, I would definitely do that, and that way you can, which is tomorrow, actually, in fact. So if you want to wait till tomorrow for the blog post, which is actually when this thing starts, there's also the Symbiote Sabotage event, which is going to be the Agent Venom event, which is going to be the week after that on January the 25th. Either of them could use indirectly power cores, but I don't think it's going to be anything substantial. We know that the the Agent Venom offers are going to be coming soon with his orb. So I don't know. I think depending on how difficult the Captain Carter event looks, I may buy her orb if it's still available tomorrow. Otherwise, I'll just buy the Agent Venom. I'm not super concerned about that. Either way, I'm probably going to get an early unlock on one of the characters, so that'll help me. I'll probably do it on Agent Venom, actually, now that I think about it, because with the Captain Carter event coming pretty soon, I'll have her unlocked, and then I'll have Agent Venom unlocked, and then I'm just waiting on US Agent, I guess, at that point. So I'll be able to unlock the full team pretty soon. So let me know in the comments down below what you are going to be using your power cores on if you're going to do it in this way. I know that not everyone is going to do this. It's a lot. You don't necessarily need to go all the way for the dark promotion credits. If you can, that's great, and I recommend it. However, just getting those blue 4 ions are really going to push you towards getting that Apocalypse unlocked a little bit earlier. A couple weeks is quite meaningful, especially with how much of a drought blue 4 ions are, and you need to really claw as much as you can from anything that they give you, especially from a free-to-play perspective if you're not buying offers. So that's the end of this video, everyone. I hope it helped, and I hope that helps you get towards Apocalypse a little bit sooner, especially for those of us who are more free to play and do not buy blue for ions. That's the end of the video, everyone, and I'll see you on the blog post video tomorrow. So until next time, stay safe and healthy, and I'll see you all later. Boilon signing out.